Only a few weeks after announcing a price increase for the Ford 150 Lightning electric pickup, Ford has declared it will also be hiking costs for the 2023 Mustang Mach-E, its latest electric car, by over $8,000. What could have caused such a ridiculous hike in price? Let's find out in the video, so make sure you stick with me to the end. Without any further delay, let's get into it. The creation of Mach-E represents a total break. While the Mustang name is associated with engine noise, performance, and style, the new 2023 Ford Mustang is the quietest and most comfortable electric SUV you can ever think of. Although it was received in an odd way by purists, the car sold more units than could be produced. Let's flash back to the making of the Ford Mustang Mach-E. In the Mustang Mach-E project, Ford brought together a team of engineers and designers in a group called Team Edison, named after Thomas Edison, Henry Ford's former boss, and one of those responsible for popularizing electric energy, with the aim of having startup decision-making and accelerate the Mach-E's arrival on the market. The end result is a car that sits between the path of an SUV and a tall station wagon, exactly what you'd expect from a crossover. The ground clearance isn't as high as an SUV's, 14.5 centimeters, but that's no problem, as the Mach-E is more concerned with its behavior on asphalt. Strangeness is inevitable, but the difference between the US and European markets is that most Europeans had never been in a Mustang, nor have they seen one up close. In other words, adapting to the Mach-E concept is easier. No one can deny that the car comes very close to what you'd expect from a Mustang, especially in styling. Starting with the size, 4.71 meters, still below the normal 4.78 meters. The hood is also long and could fit a V8 there, but the absence of the grille makes it clear that there's nothing like that inside the engine bay. The wide protruding fenders are worthy of a muscle car. The profile has a coupe-style roof drop. The rear is the point of greatest similarity. The small lid and the three-part taillights are like a time machine capable of taking you straight back to 1964, the year the Mustang was released. So what sets the Mach-E apart from other EVs? Mach-E bodywork makes a good use of the SUV format and has a gigantic wheelbase of 2.98 meters. The space is well used due to the fact that the base was born as an electric one. Compared to the Mercedes-Benz EQC, a model that started from a conventional GLC, the Ford is much wider internally. Mach-E detects the driver's smartphone as he approaches. You can get in and start it without taking your phone out of your pocket. The doors don't have handles, just a button on the glass frame. Just touch it and a latch appears for you to pull the door. Concept car thing. What if the cell phone battery runs out? You can enter a code in the door column to gain access to everything. An old Ford feature. That notwithstanding, let's see what the interior of the Mach-E looks like. The interior is as revolutionary as the design itself. The huge Tesla-style 15.5-inch vertical screen noticeably stands out in the Mustang Mach-E. The physical buttons were kept to enable faster activation of certain functions, eliminating navigation through menus. The sync system is a new generation. It has artificial intelligence, recognizes 15 languages, and boasts twice the processing capacity of the old one. The digital instrument cluster is 10.2 inches and can change its appearance according to driving modes. There are 3 options, each with very creative names: Whisper, Active, and Untamed, Indomitable, No, Echo, Normal, and Sports mode. They mess with engine response, throttle, steering, suspension, and even cabin lighting. The artificial snoring, which imitates a gasoline engine, is stronger in Untamed and disappears in Whisper and Discreet, just as you'd expect. But there is no individual mode where you can adjust each thing to your liking. Wow, the Ford Mustang Mach-E is just a beast. Interestingly, the top of the dashboard and the doors have soft touch materials, but the rest is hard plastic. It has a huge interior space, both in the front and in the rear. It is only necessary to lower your head to get in the back, where the passenger who goes in the middle does not have a central tunnel getting in the way of his legs. The trunk offers 402 liters of volume, but there is still the front luggage compartment of 81 liters, and the fixed panoramic sunroof illuminates the entire cabin. One major concern about most EVs is the battery capacity. Do you think this will also be a concern about the Ford Mustang Mach-E? Let's find out what the battery life of this beast has to offer. The Mach-E has 2 separate batteries, one 68 kilowatt-hour and one 88.8 kilowatt-hour, mounted under the floor and between the axles to open up more space and lower the center of gravity. After all, they weigh between 478 kilograms and 596 kilograms and could ruin the dynamic behavior if they were badly positioned. The range is between 400 kilometers with 4x4 traction and 440 kilometers rear-wheel drive, but the GT model can reach up to 610 kilometers. The rear-wheel drive version has the electric motor positioned on the rear axle and reaches 294 horsepower with the larger battery capacity, 269 horsepower in the smallest pack, all in order to not use up energy in a short time. Acceleration from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour is accomplished in 6.1 seconds. The 4x4 has a second electric motor on the front axle, a unit that generates 68 horsepower according to an engineering source. This This can bring the total power up to 351 horsepower. The top of the line is the GT, with 487 horsepower and 87.7 kgfm, numbers that take it to 100 kilometers an hour in 3.7 seconds, almost in the same territory as a Ferrari and much faster than the Mustang GT. When plugged into a household outlet, charging can take up to 10 hours. However, the time drops to just 45 minutes if you have an ultra-fast station at your disposal. Without doubts, the 2023 Ford Mustang Mach-E is coming with even better features. Is this enough to cause the hike in price of up to $8,000? Maybe there's more to that. We'll find out soon. Given sufficient tax liabilities, customers of all variants of the Mach-E will be eligible to claim the $7,500 federal EV tax credit for Mach-E models purchased at least through the end of the year because it is manufactured in North America, in this case Mexico. However, given that the Mach-E presently imports its battery cells from Poland, that may alter when the restrictions are reset the following year. Ford claims that cars with the bigger battery and all-wheel drive increase their EPA estimated range by 13 miles to 290 miles. Ford further stated that it is boosting prices as a result of ongoing pressure on critical supply networks and rapidly changing market conditions. The carmaker declared that it will keep an eye on economic situations and price trends for the forthcoming model year. Ford says it will offer a 2023 model to customers who still have unfulfilled orders for 2022 model year vehicles that aren't yet scheduled for production and delivery. It is a known fact that wars always claim many victims, and this Russian invasion of Ukraine ended up killing anyone who wants to buy a new car. Prices rose in most manufacturers, in some more than others, due, on the one hand, to the lack of raw materials to produce parts and systems. On the other hand, also due to the increase in energy costs. There are brands that have suffered more from these increases, and Ford is the most obvious example, specifically in the case of the Mustang Mach-E. That should be enough reason for the hike in the price of the 2023 Mustang Mach-E. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Next up, Ford has excluded destination and delivery fees, but these typically increase to about $1,200 per person. That's quite an increase. What this means is that customers will pay at least $50,000 for the cheapest Mach-E. Ford has further tried to sweeten the deal by offering its advanced Co-Pilot 360 driver assistance technology as standard across all trim levels. These also have two new colors, carbon gray and steam blue. Buyers of these models can enjoy Ford's Blue Cruise hands-free driver assistance feature for a free 90-day trial period. If you think that the federal tax credit of $7,500 for electric vehicles will help offset those price hikes, think again. The Mustang Mach-E presently qualifies for the tax credit, but beginning in 2024, it will need to have at least 40% of its components made in North America or by a U.S. trade partner in order to keep receiving the credit. Popular electric vehicle manufacturers are all increasing their list costs, so Ford is not alone in doing so. According to the findings of a recent study that looked at millions of different automobile models, the cost of electric vehicles increased by 54.3%, while the cost of gasoline-powered cars increased by just 10.1%. So that concludes today's video. If you found the video helpful, give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to share the video with your friends and family. Also, let me know in the comments section what you think about the future Mustang Mach-E. Thanks for watching. See you next time.